Hola, everybody. Welcome. Bienvenidos a todos. This is Abelardo de la Peña Jr., Director of Marketing and Communications, welcoming all of you to En Casa con la Plaza. En Casa con la Plaza, as you know, 3 times a week, we bring you the best of our community's history, art, and culture from our home to yours via these presentations, conversations, demonstrations, and performances. We've been doing this since April 2020. Pandemic times, of course, but I think we're finally getting away from it. Anyway, we're opening up and we're doing well, and we're gonna have some fun tonight. Our sponsors, PepsiCo and Kaiser Permanente. If you're on Zoom, please use the chat feature. Let us know where you're viewing from. I think we have an international audience tonight. Use the Q&A feature to ask questions. We may take the questions during the conversation. We may take them afterwards, but put them in there anyway. Those of you on Facebook, please. Thanks for joining us as well. Let us know where you're viewing from. Ask questions, make comments. We're glad you're here. Tonight, something special. We've never done this before. Well, sometimes things turn out kind of funny because of the mistakes we make, and somebody might tell a joke, but this one is devoted to comedy during the quarantine. What's so funny? And our host for tonight, first of all, I'll tell you all about who's going to be joining us, and then I'll bring up our host. Carlos, Big Brown Dad Aguilar, is our host tonight. He's a writer, a producer for more than a dozen years, writing for Bristol Palin, Marie Osmond, and a handful of other white women. Over the last 5 years, he served as editorial director at Quantasy and Associates, a leading multicultural agency where he's crafted comedic content on behalf of AT&T, California State Lottery, and Kevin Hart's LOL Network. He keeps a funny blog at Big Brown Dad. We also have with us tonight Kim Congdon, a New York-based comedian, writer, and producer, although she'll tell you she's not in New York right now. She's been seen on Comedy Central, MTV, and was a writer at True TV's Impractical Jokers. When she's not on stage or writing, you could catch her co-hosting her podcast, Broad Topics, available on all broadcast platforms. Coming to us from Austin, Texas, Vanessa Gonzalez, featured on True TV's Laugh Mobs, Laugh Tracks, HBO Latino's Entre Nos, and as a half-hour Comedy Central stand-up presents special. Vulture named her as one of the comedians you should and will know in 2019 and 2021, and we still know her. She made her late-night debut on A Little Late with Lily Singh on NBC last year. So check out her debut comedy album, My Birthday's Tomorrow, at vanessacomedy.com. And then we have with us as well, Danny Vega. His biggest credit is playing a drag queen on Food Network's Mystery Diners, but his real love is stand-up comedy. Worked at theflama.com, a Latino comedy site. In COVID times, he's enjoying playing all over New York City's parks and making funny vids for YouTube and TikTok about beloved NYC locations like Penn Station, LaGuardia, and the Port Authority bus terminal, which I'm sure is pretty funny. His biggest viral hit involves just one such video about his hometown, Casa Grande, Arizona. You could catch him as the host of Am I the Asshole podcast, a podcast about a subreddit where people post ethical dilemmas. Mr. Carlos Aguilar, Big Brown Dad himself, was a recent guest. Check it out at ait.pod.com. And come on up, Carlos Aguilar, and join us.
Abelardo, thank you for the warm welcome. I'm tempted to run and change my beanie or just take it off outright because your swag has outdripped me.
No, man.
All due respects.
That's okay. We're not color coordinated, so it's cool. You know, we're not like matching or anything, but.
Yeah, but we do have a dance routine, but we're going to save that for the end.
There you go.
And I hope you're ready. I hope you have the shoes.
Right. Well, I'm going to disappear, but I hope all of you stick around, viewers on Zoom and Facebook Live, and enjoy yourselves. Have a little fun, have a little drink, have some water, whatever makes you happy. And we'll see you in a little while. Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you, Abelardo. And I think now's a good time to go ahead and bring up Kim, Vanessa, and Danny. And again, thank you, Abelardo and La Plaza for hosting this and seeing the value really in humor during these times, and seeing the value in getting some folks together just to talk about comedy and to laugh. Regrettably, Eric isn't here with us today. He's out there choreographing a reggaeton video right now. So send your regards to Eric and the booty shakers he's hanging with today. We have Vanessa Gonzalez, Kim Congdon, and Danny Vega here. I'm in LA. Throw some kind of hand signal or something just to make everybody feel at home.
I thought you were going to say to show where you are. I was like, I'm in Florida, so guns. I don't know.
Yeah. Texas, guns also.
Brooklyn,
Danny?
kombucha hands.
Kombucha and some guns too.
And guns.
We're still in America. Come on.
Guns all day. Now, first thing I want to ask you guys, the topic for today is what's so funny, especially during quarantine. I got to ask you, what's the funniest thing that happened to you during quarantine, Vanessa?
Oh gosh. Well, me and my boyfriend, I have a boyfriend, we broke the bed.
Moving it?
No, we were doing that thing where we just sat on it and that bitch broke. That's where we are in terms of quarantine. It was very much like Titanic. It happened fast. He grabbed me. I said, I'll never let go. And we were on the ground.
Are we talking about like the bed is total, like we can't sleep on that tonight level of break?
Yeah, like that bitch was on the floor. The board. I was like, wow. We couldn't even look at each other. We were just like, it was equally both of us, and we're never going to talk about it again.
Oh my God.
You might be compelled to go get it fixed, but I'm the type of person just to look and say, the Japanese sleep on the floor. So let's just roll with this for the next month or so.
Do they sleep like, all right, good night, honey? I don't know.
The Japanese and most comics.
Yeah. We have the mattress on the floor now. We just call it our dog bed. And it's fine. We got a dog bed now.
Hey, I'm not going to ask the question I want to ask because I'm going to toss it to Kim. Kim.
Yes.
Anything that happened to you during quarantine?
The
We might come
funniest
back to
thing?
the dog bed question.
Honestly, I came to Florida and everything's changed. Everything's different from I grew up here, but it's much different now. They have medicinal marijuana now. I convinced her to get the card. She just went in, said she had like a headache. Now she has headaches and now she can get it. And me and her have just been enjoying edibles. I've made her pee her pants twice. I've killed harder with my mom than I ever have on stage. I feel like a comedic genius over here.
Yes.
Who's next? You recruiting aunts and uncles next? Or
Yeah.
just mom? Or...
Different family members and then better drugs.
Oh, okay. Hopefully cheaper. God damn, you guys getting taxed over there 39% too, or what? What are they doing?
Yeah, it's pretty high. It's the same as everywhere else now. They caught up.
Yeah, the gray market is where it's at. Danny, what's it like over there in Brooklyn?
The vibes are up. I mean, people are out, people are about. It's going. I'm still afraid. I have like Stockholm syndrome. I'm like, I love home. Home is my best friend. We don't need to leave home. We were leaving home before. This is good. This is real. We're all hanging out. We're having fun. What more do you want?
You become a video game. You get a high score on a video game. I think is that right? You caught right?
I had to wean off a little video game addiction. I'm getting over it. I was at the point where I was watching other people play. That's when you're like, what am I doing? I was saying 6 hours a day watching some other guy who's a loser. What kind of loser?
You watch some other guy get second place.
Yeah, he's losing. He's losing. I'm like, he's my friend. Win.
I don't want to spoil it, but I think Kim goes live playing video games. I've seen her promote her Twitch stream. Isn't that right? What's your poison, Kim?
Yeah, I've been heavy on Twitch since like November. I started off at Fortnite, doing a lot of Fortnite. Recently, I've switched over to Call of Duty, a little bit of Rocket League. I've been doing a little bit of scary games, trying to figure out what I'm good at. It's mostly none of them, but it's really fun.
that's amazing. Now tell me, Vanessa, first time you got paid for being funny.
Oh gosh. Well, I like to think that when I was in school and I made my friends laugh and they gave me their flamey hots, that counts. But the first time I got like a check, I was in Austin. I started comedy here like 11 years ago, and I joined a group called the Latino Comedy Project, and we were doing sketch shows. And I didn't even think we were going to get paid. I was like, oh, we're doing this for fun. And then they handed me a check afterwards, and I was like, look at me, I'm Meryl Streep.
And did that give you the notion that you can maybe do this again and do it for some more money?
Yeah, for sure. But I went from sketch comedy to improv, and there was no money in improv. So then I went to stand up, and I was like, oh, here's the checks are coming over here too.
What was the story like for you, Kim?
Well, I sort of have, I was going to start when I was really younger too, because every Christmas we'd roast a pig in the backyard. And when I was 15, I told my cousins that if they paid me $14, I'd eat the eyeball in front of everyone. And they paid me $14 and I did it, which is not even worth it. But honestly, that's how badly I wanted attention. It was worth $14.
Yes.
Not $1 more, huh?
No, that was it. That was my first check. But honestly, the first time, I think it was like a few years into me doing open mics, and the same thing, I didn't know, had no idea I was going to get paid. And after I did a weekend at La Jolla Comedy Store opening up for, I don't even remember, it was so long ago, maybe Bobby Lee or someone like that. And they sent me a check. The next week it showed up in my mailbox, and I was like, oh, I think they accidentally sent me something. I was like, no, they wouldn't have paid, right? I was like, no, they're paying me for working. It's crazy.
Wait, is that part of the journey though for stand-up comedians, that you should anticipate not getting paid when you start out? It's like a privilege to spend your time doing this.
I don't think it's completely right, but yeah, I think everyone should get paid for their work. If you're selling tickets and people are buying something, you should always pay the people that are working, regardless of how long they've been there.
What's your take, Vanessa?
Oh, I agree. I think, yeah, it's like, yeah, you got to pay your dues before you get paid or whatever. But everyone's putting, especially if it's a showcase or a show, like we're all putting the same amount of time into our sets and, doing the thing. So yeah,
there's been times where someone has just, when I was a young comic, I did a show and someone threw me $15, and it literally paid for my next 2 meals.
Mm-hmm.
And a comic will stretch $15 out 4 months if we have to.
Right? Yes.
So it's very, very important. Even a small amount is like a big deal to us because it makes us feel valued in the beginning, especially.
Is it usually a matter of advocating for yourself and just saying, fuck it, I'm gonna basically ask for it today?
Yep. Yeah.
Now, Danny, when was the first time you got paid for being funny?
I was in college, and I had a little open mic I ran. It was at little Italian restaurant, and I would always try to get people to go, and I always struggled. But one night I just killed it. I packed the place out. I don't know how I did it to this day. There was like 25 people there. Like you couldn't move. It was a small space. And when I finished, she was like, hey, get anything you want off the menu. And I said, well, I'm getting a fettuccine Alfredo. This is a great night.
Yeah.
And it slapped. It was mine, and I earned it.
Yeah.
And I really offended a friend that night, though. That was the problem, is that I made all these, I made fat jokes. I own it. Cancel me. I did.
He was scared to say it.
I was scared to say it. I was terrified to say it. And I made all these fat jokes, and she was fat, and I wasn't making them at her. They were jokes about fat people. And she was like, those jokes hurt my feelings. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't even think of you as fat. And it was
You're
tough.
like, but now that I look at you.
Yeah, but now that you say it, I see a connection there. I actually do fat people. You are a fat person. Okay. Yes, that is. Yes.
Now, what's the most, so like when you started out, I suspect you got the $15, the couple of dollars here and there. What's the most fun you've had and/or kind of the most rewarding financial, maybe those two are related, financial compensation you've had while doing comedy? Like what's kind of felt worth it?
10 minutes. It was a pickup shot. You guys know what a pickup shot is? When they shoot the thing, but they miss something. Like, oh, we need him saying like, oh, thank you. Like and so I flew out to Vegas. Okay. I flew out to Vegas, pickup shot, mystery diners on the Food Network. 10 minutes. I sat down for 10 minutes and I was like, oh yeah, the restaurant is great. And they're like, all right, you're good. Here's $1,000. And I was a junior in college. This was right after the incident with them. That's my best. I don't know if I'm gonna beat that. $1,000 in 10 minutes. That's crazy money.
Oh man. Well, there's, when I was in college, I still remember the day in college when there was like the rumor. This was in 1994. Actually, let me just do this. Oxy represent. Chris Rock was on campus, and they were like, he got paid 15 racks. Chris Rock, our college paid a comic 15,000 of our dollars. It was like, it seemed like a fucking lot of money. And I was like, yo, that's like, maybe that's a good career to pursue. So there was always this like mythical, even for me who wasn't even looking there, like it must have been some kind of carrot out in front of all of you guys, right? Like if I take this $15 now, I can maybe come up later. Was that the idea? Is there a payday ahead?
Listen, that Chris Rock payday is like the stimulus check. I ain't never seen it. I'm still waiting. The Chris Rock paydays I'm waiting on, but it eventually definitely gets better than a free drink here and there.
No doubt. Now, Danny, you work and you deploy comedy in your work today, right? So tell us a little bit about your work and how you're able to kind of leverage your comedic abilities there.
I'm really lucky, man. I work at a company that is a funny brand. It's cryptocurrency, so it's not like we're gonna be funny all day. And like I gotta know about cryptocurrency, so it's fine. I'm a finance bro. I am a finance bro. I hate to admit it. I do coke. No, it's good, man. I mean, it's rewarding. I mean, I would say the thing about work and it's honestly the thing about content, because I think a lot of us go into it with like what you're saying, like who doesn't want 15 G's for an hour? It's like very ego driven. It's like, I'm going to be funny and people are going to love me. And like, yeah. And like, as I've gotten older and had, no success, I've realized like, connecting with one person is worth it. Connecting with two people is worth it. Like it really is just about being like, I'm here, this is what I'm given. And that has gotten me to where I am, which is not very far, but like, I enjoy what I do. And that's all that matters to me, and my parents are billionaires, but.
No, but tell me just a little bit more about the videos you make and how you deploy humor in the videos you make and how's that helped your company?
Tell me a little bit more about your parents.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll tell you whatever you want to know, Kim. You can meet them whenever. My company, I make comedic ads for my company. They're like Google ads. I'm in YouTube ads, and people like have reached out from high school and been like, why are you, literally my friend, I haven't talked to this guy for years. Why are you what I hate? And I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, haha, I get it. I hate myself too, or whatever. I went with it. And then I was like, he's going to follow up, right? And be like, oh, sorry. Like, but how are you really? He never followed up. I'm like, okay, cool. Great interaction, man. Cool. But yeah, sorry. I feel like you want a serious answer to this question.
Do you?
No, I mean, look,
no, but
it's always like coming back really to the same, like, beliefs that I think like so many of us saw comedy as like being funny, but really connecting is powerful. And I think that the ads I make, they're like cute, but I honestly just like write stuff very much from my own life and like try to tie that into a finance commercial. Like we had one that's just like, I'm just like, oh, like you weren't there for me during my breakup, and like my buddy's like, oh, sorry, I was addicted to this new app. And it's like, he was into the app. And it's just like, I don't know, it felt like cathartic for me to be like, this is a thing that's happening, but then translating that into buy Bitcoin. It's an outlet,
Sure. Now, Kim, you've worked in television. You've worked to produce TV. So you've had been paid, as a writer, a comedic writer. So what was that experience like for you? And is that what you want more of?
It was nice. Food was good. It was warm. I would go to a restaurant. I wouldn't split my meal in half. I would just eat the whole thing and then leave a few pieces. That was fucking insane. So life changed a little bit.
Craft services.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
Oh, it's like Red Vine's double barrel red vine move right here. That's what I'm known for. I go in
Red
with both
Vine, the
hands
candy?
into the bucket. Yeah, you go into the bucket. You know, it's a bucket. You
I
go
don't
both
fucks
hands
with the
in.
red vines. You can't fuck. I don't fucks with the red vines. I mean,
Missing out.
listen, if you want to, I'll pause and we can do top 5 candies, but that's a whole nother story.
I've written about it, bigbrowndad.com. Look for the top 5 candies that are alive. I wish I was bullshitting, but I'm not. I actually have
That's
strong opinions on the matter.
Dang.
Kim,
Yeah.
what's the most fun you've had working in comedy?
Ah, that's such a hard question. TV, just working with all my friends. Honestly, comedy is the fucking best. It's so hard to pick one thing. I fucking love TV writing. I love comedy writing. I love the festivals. I love how hard we party before and after shows. I love doing the shows. I love meeting the audiences. I cannot pick one thing. It's honestly the best thing in the world. So it's
That's
really
dope.
hard to choose. I know that's a corny answer, but truly, I cannot think of one favorite time. It's all so fun.
Now, does that make
Except
it
for the
feel less?
depression and being poor and like not making it and the sexism and the thing about being Hispanic in the industry and being a woman and aging, but like it's all great.
Mhm.
Wait, Vanessa, does the notion that it feels less like work against you? It because in essence you're running a small business, right?
Yeah, and I'm not good at it. I think for me right now, my business is me and it's paycheck to paycheck. And most of my income was from like just being on the road and doing clubs and stuff. But now it's like, yeah, you gotta get creative with it, make some merch, maybe an OnlyFans. I don't know. I'm sleeping on the floor over here, so I don't, I don't have much financial advice. Have a sugar dad as a steady income, and I don't. So he's like a cinnamon papa.
That's what's up. Wait, we used to hear these stories about like people migrating for work, like after World War II or whatever. But that's part of your story too, right? Like you migrated to LA for work. You got some good comedy work. Talk about that, and then how did COVID fuck that up? And then how?
Yeah, so I was here in Austin doing comedy, sketch, improv, stand up. And then I was like, okay, let me go to LA. I want to, make some bigger steps. And it was going. But yeah, a lot of living in LA, I had to be on the road to afford to live there. So I was pretty much just paying for an address. It felt like for a while because I couldn't just be there to afford it. But yeah, once COVID hit and all the clubs shut down, everything stopped, I had to move back because the money was just like cut off. But yeah, so now I'm in Austin, hoping to go back once we get the shots and all, and get back at it, hit the ground running again.
Your plan is to come back to LA then?
Mm-hmm.
Is that because just business opportunities in Los Angeles that aren't available in Austin? Even because I wondered how much the shift to remote work kind of across the economy maybe opened up opportunities to be funny remotely. I don't know. Has that happened for anybody?
I think so. I think now, I mean, for the past year, I've just been doing comedy from here with my flaming hots behind me, and it's been working out and writing and things like that. So I think it has lent itself to like, oh, we can kind of do it from wherever now. But if you're getting like cast and stuff and things, they're like, they want you there. So that's what my hope is for this year, to hopefully get cast in something, move back. But if it was just like, again, for the address, I could do it from Austin a little longer, I think.
That's right. And Danny, you've talked about moving to LA. Is that motivated by comedic professional pursuits, economic pursuits?
I hope that I have an impression that there's no stand-up in LA, and I think it's just because New Yorkers are such trash talkers. So I'm like, clearly that's not true. It's a massive city. But frankly, the reason I'm moving is the sun. I'm a big fan of the work of that woman. I believe the sun's a woman, and she's killing it. And I'm going to eat a lot of Mexican food is my plan. It's like sun, Mexican food, and then maybe go to an LA open mic if I get around to it. I don't know. I might go to the beach for a few years, but like, I don't know. I've worked with stand-ups to create content, to create sketches, like the very videos that you brought up, these ads for my company, things of that nature. And like, I honestly do want to meet like more actor-y people, because I'm a very demanding director. It's like psychotic and horrible to work with me, but like, I know what I want and I need people who can act. That's why I'm going to LA and burritos.
Kim, what's the word in Florida? Are you planning to stay there? Go ahead to New York? Can you work remotely?
I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. I have no idea. Today I did a microdose acid and went to Busch Gardens.
Oh my God.
That's a write-off. That's a
So,
write-off.
I'm working on
write-off.
something. Don't know what it is. I'm working on something. I've
Wait,
got some
Busch
good-
Gardens, is that a racetrack?
Working.
Busch Gardens is a theme park. It's the best theme park. It's so fun.
So what's your favorite ride there?
There's this ride called the Shikra. Big drops. Shikra.
Roller
I
I can't
coaster.
talk right now. Yeah. My voice is a little hoarse from all the acid.
That's a very common symptom.
Okay,
It's
hold
like
on.
headaches.
Shikra, Vanessa, what can you guess? What is a Shikra? What do you think? Is that a dragon themed roller coaster? What do you got on the Shikra? Am I saying this right, Kim? Shikra?
I don't know. I think so. I didn't ask them to pronounce it. I just got on the shit.
Yeah, I feel like sheetrock. What are we?
I don't know what the hell it is, but I was there, I think.
So you're still under the influence of acid as we speak right now.
I'm truly coming down. I hate to say that out loud on something that's being recorded.
You know, microdosing is apparently the way.
Microdosing is the wave. I highly recommend it for everyone. Mothers, women, children, everybody. Everyone get on the
And
microdose
children.
game. No one sue me. That was a joke. I have to say that for real. Don't do it and then be like, she told me to. That was a joke. Everything I say is allegedly.
Danny, allegedly you have a Patreon.
I do. I have a Patreon. It creates recurring. You know what I think about a lot is that all I want is to have a Patreon that I don't have to worry about money. Like if I could just get enough on there that I would be able to do whatever I want, and I could be a little bougie boy and not have to work for nobody. But at the same time, all day, I hate subscription services. Everything is a subscription now. Everything. What is it? I'm gonna get a water bottle. Oh, it's $4 a month to drink water out of your own bottle. It's like I'm trying to make calendar events, and I spend $15 for a calendar because it's just disorienting. But at the same time, I'm like, $5 a month for my content. Do you want it? Do you want it? Because I need to subscribe to Cereal Box. Oh my! I just spent all over. This is
Yeah, like
the
you-
broken-
You ever hear the stories of like Usher being paid by a prince of some like Middle Eastern country to come perform for like $3 million? Where are the comic patrons? Like, why doesn't the Prince of Abu Dhabi like fuck with comedy like that? Kim, you have an answer.
There's another one I don't know. Let me tell you.
Ask the acid.
If I found the Prince of Abu Dhabi and he was donating like that, I'd be like, what?
You have
Let me
any?
bring
You
you
have
to a
any?
show. Let me bring you to a show. Let me show you what the real comedy world's like. I bring him in the green room, see if that would butter him up. People love coming in the green room with you. It's so fun for them.
I
Is
think
it Vanessa? Is it more funny or less funny in a green room? Like, I think people want to know. Is like, I guess the impression is like Kim suggests, like everybody thinks it's like a riot in that motherfucking place. Like, but I suspect it just smells like underarm. and
It's so
carrots.
depressing in a green room.
Yeah, nobody's talking to each other. Everyone's real sad and just writing or on their phones, and then you see them on stage and they're like, I'm the nicest person in the world, and it was like, you didn't say hi to me, bitch.
I'm sorry, Vanessa. I was busy. I was on acid.
No, Kim, does has social media functioned as a pen and a pad for you? Like, have you used it to like kind of seed bits and develop kind of ideas or see if they hit and maybe like I'm gonna go run and develop that later?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 95% of my set is me just going back to Twitter and see what people like the most. And then, pulling stuff from my podcast that people on YouTube were like, this specific part was funny. And I was like, I must have said something funny there.
Is that your approach too, Vanessa?
Yeah. I have a podcast also. It's called I'm Not Busy because I'm not. And yeah, I pull stuff from there. Yeah, banter with my comedy friends, tweets also, shit I tell my dog, write it down.
Oh, you know what? What's dope about what you've done on the business side is that you developed a product, right? You have a special, and then are you selling it now? And how has having a product opened up more business opportunities?
Yeah, I have an album that I'm selling. It hasn't really opened up opportunities, but people buy it. My parents' friends like it. I try to plug it when I can. If y'all want to stream it or buy it on my website, vanessacomedy.com. But yeah, it dropped right last March, so right when everything like shut down, and it was kind of like perfect timing of like, well, I can't perform, so let me push this like crazy. So yeah, I think it definitely helps to like have something to be like, oh, here, listen to me here, a podcast, a YouTube channel, or whatever.
Danny, what role, if any, has a manager played with what you do? Or this is for everybody. Are managers helping comedy, help you go get that bag, help you find the opportunity? Or are they just standing in the way?
I don't have any representation, so I can't field this. I mean, I know this guy Ron who produces shows in Long Island, and I did a lot of his shows, and I would really rather have there be a stable person in between me and Ron.
Ron,
unhinged.
what do you do?
Oh man, what
That green room activity?
No, you would pray. You would pray for him to be quiet on his phone. Instead, he talks and he says insane things. His life is chaos, and it's like, yeah.
Abelardo, bring up Ron's website if you have a chance. We're gonna plug that in. All right, guys, I have a list of questions. You guys stop fucking around. I have these. They're coming, so don't act strange. Also, Eric, where the fuck are you? Okay, here we're back here. What's the worst bit of business advice you've received in comedy?
I guess for me is that women shouldn't wear shorts on stage or like dresses. I think it's so stupid. If you're not wearing the shortest dress, then fine. Like you can wear a dress, you can wear shorts. I think it all changed after COVID too, because then when things started opening up slowly, they started doing stand up in the parks. And it's like, we're not wearing jeans and boots in the park. So yeah, I don't like that one.
You rock dresses.
Yeah, you can wear a dress on stage for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's Adidas jacket with the tennis skirt beneath. I already know.
Yeah, all I wear is sweatsuits though.
Danny, and did you get any bad advice? Give me some bad advice.
Yeah, go to New York and chase your dreams. No, I don't know, man. Bad advice. Do the hostel shows. Those are the worst shows I've ever done. This insane maniac. This makes the other guy, the Long Island guy, this guy's like a hero compared to this guy. This guy, what's his name? Randy. He puts on shows at hostels for 2 people. You go and there's 2 people, and that wouldn't even be bad because you know what? They're down. They're from Iceland and they like don't really speak English, but they are 2 people and they will laugh. The problem is that he does 10 minutes to open, puts on a comic for 4 minutes, and then does 10 more minutes in between. So you're there for an hour to do 4 minutes in front of 2 people. You'll do well though, because he's that bad that they're like, we love this guy's a joke.
This is the hostel in Manhattan. Which hostel exactly?
Yeah, this is like in North, it's like almost in it's like on the high side of the park, on the high west side of the park. And here's my favorite thing. Most people have like a notebook or a note in their phone. We reference a note. We get it. You know, it's hard to remember all your. He has a briefcase filled with scraps of paper. That's how he and he pulls from the briefcase and is like reading a joke that's typed out though. It's like insane.
Genius.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're gonna want to leave New York for LA. I don't think we have that level of freakishness, but you might be surprised. Vanessa, surprise us. What's the worst bit of advice you received?
I don't know. It's hard. It's like it could all be good or bad. I feel like it. I think there's no right or wrong. Everyone, there's so many avenues to take. But the worst advice, I don't know, is somebody told me not to make fun of my mom, and I was like, whatever.
What you have something on your mom? Let's hear it.
I mean, if you listen to my album,
Hey,
half
like
of
that.
it is about her. Yeah, she's crazy. She sends me religious memes every hour on the damn hour. So I know when the hour hits because my watch tells me to stand up and my mom's telling me to pray.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know why. I think Venmos would be more helpful than a meme that says, when life gets too hard to stand, kneel. That means blowjob, mom. Stop sexting me. Okay. So yeah, she's just a wild character. And that was the worst advice I ever got, because she's comedy gold, I think.
Oh yeah. Go in on moms. Go in on moms.
Yeah, go in on moms.
Kim.
Yeah.
What acid-induced bit are you developing right now? I have to know.
Actually, I started writing a bit. I was looking through the questions. I was like, let's see what we're doing today on the way here. And I just started writing a bit about, what was it? God damn, can't remember. It was about one of your questions. Alex, remind me.
Different ways to make money being funny.
That one.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say that people sometimes pay me to roast them online because I do a lot of the roast stuff. And it would be funny if like everyone had serious like things that they were working on with money. And I was like, yeah, every once in a while I call a man a pig and he sends me $20. But that is more piggish than funny.
On my website, Big Brown Dad, I offer customized disc poems for $237.
I love that.
I will write a disc poem. I'll spend 30 minutes with someone. I have no takers, by the way. I haven't sold a single one, but you can go to it. It's listed there, and you should consider it. If you're watching this today, we can shit on somebody. And it's it's the best way to spend time. Danny, what bit are you working on right now? I got to know.
I mean, I've been working on this Cats bit. It's really it's hacky, but I'm attached to it. I mean, the position I'm trying to take is that it's not that cats are bad. That's the classical, like, cats are jerks, cats are assholes. We get it. This is not true. The problem is that cats are not friends. That doesn't make you an asshole just because you're not someone's friend. They're tiny tigers. That's it. It's not that and people, you hate cat. I don't hate cats. I respect the cat for what it is. You don't respect the cat because that's what cat people do. They pretend they're dogs. My cat loves me. My cat, it loves everyone. No, your cat wants you dead and your cat will eat you. This is a fact. a New York, what is it called when you die and they touch your body?
Coroner or whatever.
Yes, a coroner. A coroner said if you die in your apartment, a dog will mourn your death, but a cat will eat you the next day, 24 hours. That's not a friend. That's not a friend. They don't grieve. They have no concept of grief. Imagine if you fell asleep at your friend's house and instead of putting your fingers in warm water so that you'd pee, put them in broth. That's not a friend.
Vanessa, I hate to say
I
it.
like the broth tag.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much. I honestly, it went on. I like expanded the front.
I've run out of questions, and now's a good time for if you're the viewer to send in your burning questions.
Well, we don't have questions. Well, Sam the Sham wants to see the dance routine, but he'll have to wait for that one. I haven't had enough to drink yet. Ronald Soto, hello from Pico Rivera. Thank you.
Hilarious city, by the way. Pico Rivera, one of the funniest cities in Southern California.
Olivia Robledo sends in saludos from the beautiful city of San Fernando, California.
Richie Valens, shout out Richie Valens Spirit.
And Alex Felix from Culver City, and Max Barrera from Coatepec, Pueblo Mágico del Estado de Veracruz, Mexico. A question I have: how does your culture, how has it influenced your comedy? At least, you know, from the beginning. I know you, Vanessa, you've talked about your mom and mamas are funny, and but other than that, how has your culture influenced your approach to comedy or what you present to the audience? Anybody?
I think for me, it's just, I mean, I born and raised from the border, South Texas. I think it just naturally, you know, I just try to be honest and vulnerable and talk about shit I've been through. And a lot of that involves Mexicans, you know, so it just naturally comes out. I don't really, make it like a point or anything, but if I'm talking about family and stuff, I find that it doesn't matter whether like people are also Mexican or whatever culture they're from, they relate, just because it seems like when you're talking about families and things like that, anybody can really relate to it.
All right, how about you, Kim?
For me, I just feel like anybody that's ever been hit with a sandal has a better personality. It just makes the way I grew up. I just feel like my whole family is hilarious. Everyone jokes around. I think that the Latinx culture is very, very, very good with their sense of humor, and that probably helps comedians a lot in this field.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm weird because I'm Cuban and my parents are Cubans, and I'm sorry for how they voted. And they raised us in Arizona, you know, so I was surrounded by Mexicans, and so I like burritos more than a Cuban sandwich. You know, like that was our regular. And like, I knew more Mexican, my friends are Mexicans, right? I knew my parents, but like none of our extended family was really in Arizona. So I've never really been comfortable, because obviously I'm not going to say I'm Mexican. I've felt very hesitant. So I usually just say I'm a white Hispanic. But as I've been turned on to a new concept, which has really made me feel like I can be like authentic, which is, my friend goes, look, man, I was raised in the US. This is my Chinese friend. I was raised in the US, and I was raised by, you know, Chinese immigrants, just like me. My parents are Cuban immigrants. And he goes, don't tell me that someone who goes to China, some white guy goes to China and knows way more about China, the place, than me, knows more about being Chinese. Because the fact that your parents raised you, that has like some real Cuban values in me. And so now that I've kind of started to see that thing, I'm like, dang, like a lot of my comedy is a reaction to how I was raised and how Cubans are, which is a lot of them love Donald Trump, and I don't, but I get it. And I love that too, because I understand why my parents have to vote for Donald Trump. I get it. And that I like that, because it's like I feel a little balanced in a sense.
All right. We have a question from a certain John Echeveste. He's asking, who are your comedy inspirations? Let's start with Kim.
Oh God, this question is very hard. My favorite comic and one that I love to watch all the time is Dave Attell. I think he's one of the greatest, and yeah, mostly him. I say his name every time. I love his comedy. If you haven't checked it out, check him out. He's so funny.
And that's David Tell?
Dave Attell.
Dave Attell. All right, thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I have no voice.
How about Vanessa? Who's your comedy inspiration?
Well, growing up, I loved watching Def Comedy Jam and Martin Lawrence, everything he did, his show, his specials, I like memorized front and back. So Martin Lawrence was always a big one for me.
All right, Danny.
It's tough. I think I'm gonna play the room here. I'm gonna say Sarah Silverman has long been a favorite of mine. I think she's just a phenomenal joke writer, and she was doing Jezelnik way before Jezelnik. Let me say that. And I don't understand. I feel like she doesn't get that much respect for it. I feel like she's grown a lot more than Jezelnik too. Anyway.
All right. And Carlos, how about you?
And I was hoping you wouldn't ask me that, because I don't have a good answer, except I just love to laugh. So I'm open. I'll drop in. I'll drop in on a special if the shit's funny. Oh, you know who? I don't want to say who I like, because people start tripping. But I just like a lot of shit. I dislike more than I like.
All right.
Okay.
Sam the Sham's asking here, did anyone in the panel besides Carlos experience emotional distress when One Day at a Time was canceled? The new One Day at a Time. The Cuban One Day at a Time.
I was sad. Yeah.
All right.
I felt nothing.
I just didn't know how you had like 7 Latinos living in such a small apartment. No one's selling weed out that motherfucker. Like, where is the reality? TTT.
All right. This is a question for the first one who answers here. Who will be the first to ride in a car to get coffee with Seinfeld?
You guys can take it.
I'm gonna vote for Kim. Out of us, I think Kim has a really good shot.
Yeah, Kim.
You know what? I don't know why you guys voted for me, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
I feel good about it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Juan Ramirez is asking, any memorable experiences with hecklers?
Yes. Yeah, I got one. I used to run a show on 14th Street, and homeless people would come into the show, and it wasn't usually even a problem or even a regular thing. It would just happen, and they would be drunk, but they usually would do nothing. But one night, I was doing a bit, which I do over and over because I can't write new material because I'm stuck as a person and as a comic. And I said, I like ecstasy because it's the only drug that's named after its effect. And then this is a crowd work portion I was repeating, and I go out to the audience and I say, when you do ecstasy, what do you feel? And normally a person will go, ecstasy, right? And I asked this homeless man, and he goes, neutral. This guy took E and broke even. So I guess it wasn't really a heckle. I guess I thought it's a joke I have at work, so I had to do it. I had to win.
All right. Anybody else have any experiences with hecklers?
One time in New Orleans, I was doing a set, and this woman in the front row busted out a bubble gun and just started shooting bubbles at me.
I would have fought. That would have been the first time you've seen a comedian just fight someone.
And you can hear the little motor in it, just like
disrespect. No one respects us. No one respects
no
us.
one.
She's like, I'm armed and dangerous. Why would you have that?
Well, here's one. Have any of you ever laughed at anything on any episode of Saturday Night Live?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, we're trying to work still. Why are you asking us that? Like we're not trying to get
Yeah.
jobs.
I got friends
Hey.
on there. I laugh.
Hey, do we have to read every question in the chat?
Can we be selective?
Hey, they're coming in slowly but surely. But here we have. Do you ever do a show high or drunk? This is from Maggie in Rowland Heights.
Well, I'll take this one, guys.
I feel good about your chances here. I feel very good.
Yeah, I do. I'll admit it.
High or drunk or both?
Whatever's around, I guess. No, I don't really. I'm horrible. I actually like to do one drink as I'm going on stage, and then I save all that fun stuff for after.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the best cut you've ever heard from a Chicano about Cubans?
Oh man, I don't know, but I could say this. I don't know if this is that good of a cut, but I was shocked when I had Carlos on my podcast and I said pendeja, and he goes, "What does that mean?" I was like, "Wow, man, I thought you were Mexican because that's all Mexican kids called me in middle school."
No, I was just surprised that you actually had the dictionary definition of pendeja, which was like
Oh, yeah.
which-
The
which is what?
emotional and dictionary.
It was like, yeah.
All right,
Oh.
here's the one. What's the corniest joke you've ever heard? And do you remember it? And can you tell it?
I've heard so many.
Just one.
They're all mixed in there. I can only think of my own, and I'm not putting myself down like that in front
I'll
of
put
you.
myself
What-
down. I'll put myself down. I
But
filled out
one
this,
where
Danny, can you give me one of yours for
Yeah.
my when
I
it's
was
my
gonna
turn?
say when
Yeah.
Danny called that girl fat.
Ooh, that was corny.
I like it.
I kept this joke in my set for years. It's taken me a while to let it go. I just I'll just throw this in between jokes. Do you think one benefit of being a beekeeper is you don't have to change for fencing practice?
That's good
That's
for
the
the
reaction.
beekeeping community.
That's the reaction, I guess. Thank you, Cam. I'm trying to promote. A lot of people don't appreciate beekeepers, and that's actually
Fencers
the
probably
message.
go to comedy shows.
Danny actually
It's
had a
very
beekeeping
relatable.
tweet today. Danny, stop fucking around. You had a beekeeper's tweet today. I saw it. Something about a beekeeper suit.
Yeah, it bombed very badly.
I'm doing bee material.
You know what? Cam? I'm developing my art. Okay,
You're
Let me
right, you're
bomb in
right. Who am I to
peace. Let me
judge?
fail alone. Okay.
No, I'm failing too. I'm there with you.
Well, we have Andrew Fay. When's Kim coming to do shows in Ireland? She's beloved.
Oh
Love it.
shit. That's Andy from my Twitch stream. What up, Andy?
So when you go to Ireland?
Listen, whenever I get that Ireland plane ticket paid for, I was gonna throw
The
me
Irish Prince. It's the Irish
Yeah.
Prince. Has
Where's the Irish prince in the green room?
Okay, are there any great college educated comics?
What?
Are there any?
There's a lot.
Any-
I
Yeah.
think. What is the implication of this question? Kind of a loaded gun here. I think
Who is Sam the Sham? Anybody know who he is?
he's
His
having
mental
fun.
illness and asset for a comic. He's really getting us though. You
That's
guys.
it.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah, Sam's going in.
I think it is. Can I say that I think it is because my ex has a mental. I'm not labeling her this. She has a personality disorder, and I think she's hilarious. I think she's very funny, and I think it can be an asset. Obviously, if you're an alcoholic, or if you're a substance abuser, you're someone who's doing acid at Busch Gardens all the time, it's that's not really helpful. But I think it can make people really funny.
Yeah, I think Sam the Sham is Lorne Michaels.
Well, they're on the Isaiah Cortez is reminding us that Greg Giraldo, since deceased, Latinx, he went to Harvard Law School. So yeah, there were. All right. Well, any more comments? Let's hear. Where can our audience see you next? Let's start with Danny. Where can they see you right after this, or maybe tomorrow?
Well, I'd love to invite, the Vanessa and Kim. I'd love to have you on my podcast, and we talk about situations. People ask if they're the asshole, and I would love it if you guys checked it out. It's aitapod.com. I also have an episode with Carlos, and that's that's kind of my big thing. Yeah, main thing. It's not big. It's small.
All right, we're putting that on our on the chat and also on the Facebook page. How about you, Vanessa? Where can people see you next?
I have a podcast. I'm not busy. With my bestie Michael Folk. You can get that where all the podcasts are. And then on Thursdays, I stream on Twitch with a group called Master Pancake Theater, and we mock shows that are based in Austin but actually filmed in LA. So check us out Thursdays.
What's a show that's filmed in LA that's based in Austin?
Oh, Lone Star 911 or 911 Lone Star, one of the with Rob Lowe. Yeah, it's real bad.
Thanks for that. How about you, Kim?
You guys can check out my podcast, Broad Topics, TOPIX, anywhere that podcasts are available, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play. And then check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/QueenKong1. I'm on there every day. And I'm also doing a show April 1st through 3rd at the Side Splitters in Tampa, Florida.
All right. And Carlos?
You can check me out at bigbrowndad.com. And I'm also selling coffee. And the website is mestizo.coffee, and we produce a lot of comedy videos related to coffee drinking, and I produce a series called Stand Up Morning Routine, where I interview comedians about their morning routine. So Danny's been on it, and you can expect to hopefully find Kim and Vanessa on it shortly. So that's what's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all so much. We learned a lot about comedians during quarantine drinking coffee, at least Carlos. And thank you all out there that in Zoom and Facebook Live that tuned in tonight. En Casa con la Plaza, coming to you every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday, and hopefully we'll get you back on, Carlos, to talk about your coffee.
Let's do it.
All right.
Thank you.
Coming up next on En Casa con la Plaza, on Mondays, as you know, we have our cooking demonstrations with our Director of Culinary Arts, Jimena Martin. She'll be interviewing Maite Gomez Rejon, talking about Mexico's first female cookbook author. On Wednesday, that's at 3 o'clock on Monday, March 15th. On Wednesday, March 17th, Tres Sols, Boleros Relived. It's a group, a trio out of LA. They're doing their unique interpretation of boleros, and from back in the old days, Trio Los Panchos, Trio Romántico, you know the songs. And then finally on Friday, Dan Guerrero Happy Hour. Dan Guerrero, the son of Lalo Guerrero, who's been on every other week. He'll be hosting Perla Batalla, who a singer who has backed up Leonard Cohen, and she's a solo artist in her own right. She'll be bringing her eclectic songs in English and Spanish to audiences worldwide. She'll be with us on our happy hour Friday, March 19th. So thank you all for joining us tonight. And thank you, Big Brown Dad. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Vanessa and Kim. And if I could just I'm gonna do a screenshot here. So let's get a smile, or uno, dos, y tres. All right, thank you so much. All right,
Thank you.
any last words? Any last, floor is yours.
If you're the police, I was kidding about the acid.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, well, we'll see you all. Buenas noches a todos y nos vemos muy pronto. Bye-bye.